guys, welcome back to Bibliophile Reads. I'm Courtney and you're joining me for another weekly reading vlog. So excited to get this started. It is Monday, feeling good. It is February 5th. I had a pretty good reading weekend, and so I am 2 books down for February. So last week I finished The Next Door Nemesis, and then this weekend I finished What a Match, which is the second book in Mimi Grace's Love Struck series. Now, last week I talked a lot about Mimi Grace and the book that I was reading from her and how much I loved it. And I'm so sad to say that the second book was not very good. I gave it 3 stars just for GP, like general purposes, but it was not my favorite. I did not find chemistry in the 2 main characters. The plot line was giving repeat. It just wasn't it for me. And I really was dreading continuing the book, and that's never a good sign. So that was not good. But then I also, let me just grab it, picked up 2 fantasies that have been sitting. One's going to take priority though. So when was it? I guess it was Friday or Saturday. I picked up Children of Fallen Gods. This is book 2 in this War of Lost Hearts series. And this is the book that comes after Daughter of No Worlds. I really enjoyed that book, and I'm starting this one and I'm enjoying this one too. I'm only about maybe less than 100 pages or maybe just at 100 pages into this book. I'm reading it on my Kindle, but I also have the hard copy, and it is really good, and I am going to finish it. But I also got the energy to pick up Iron Flame yesterday. So this is taking precedence. So last year I read Fourth Wing. I didn't read it with the craze because honestly you couldn't get your hands on it, but I read it in July and like devoured it. Got Iron Flame on the pre-order, hence the sprayed edges, but I have stopped and started it a couple times, mostly because everybody's saying it's not that good, which is the worst when you hear that it's not good and it really is, or you don't know, like you haven't gotten a chance to sort of figure out for yourself. So last night I did a chunk of reading, and I think I'm about, I'm trying to look, because I'm reading it on my Kindle as well. I think I know I'm about 30% in, and I'm on chapter 21. In the book, it's about 208, but also the book's font is ridiculously small. But if I want to pick up the book, I will do that. But I'm really liking it right now. The book kind of started off slow for me, and again, it's hard to measure because I've started and stopped. But in the last sort of, so I was on 23 or 25%, and now I'm at like 30%. The last few chapters have been really good. We're getting more of Xaden and Violet together, and they're having some issues. So it's like getting more entertaining, which I appreciate. So I'm going to keep reading that, and my goal is to finish that by the end of the day tomorrow. So today is Monday. There's reading sprints that I usually participate in. We'll see how active I can be, but I really am enjoying it, and I want to kind of keep riding that wave. Then after that, I'll probably need a palette cleanser, so I might go to Yoga Pant Nation. I showed that in my weekly vlog, or a Babysitters Club book. I'm waiting for a couple of books to come in on Libby. So yeah, I feel good about this. I mentioned at the beginning of the year, and I feel like I'm sticking true to this, of like reading at a pace that is attainable for me, but also enjoying what I read. Last year I did read a lot and it was enjoyable, but it was like a race through every book, and I don't want to have that. I want to really remember each book, enjoy each book, and all of that. So yeah, I think it'll take a couple days to finish Iron Flame, and that's fine. I don't do really well sometimes with reading double books. It ends up one gets pushed to the side, so I'm just going to read the one and then move on to a couple palette cleansers before I go into Children of Fallen Gods again. But that is the update for Monday. Nothing super exciting happened. I mean, I showed you guys on Saturday that I went to the library. That's in last week's reading vlog, so go ahead and check out what books I got from the library. But other than that, that's it for now. All right, bye guys. Hey guys, happy Tuesday, coming to you with an update on what I read. I am just starting at Starbucks, which I rarely get Starbucks anymore, but it's hitting today. I recently bought some coffee, cheap coffee, because, you know, inflation. and it's just not doing what it needs to do. Yesterday I was so exhausted, and it was like noon. I didn't have any time to be exhausted. My calendar was packed, like, no. So I needed the full jitters today. If you want to know, I get the Grande Ice Blonde Latte with vanilla sweet cream foam on top, because no matter what now, whatever drink, it's gonna have the sweet cream foam. So this week, I might just call this whole vlog reading Iron Flame, but who knows? So I read more of Iron Flame last night. I'm trying to match where I am in the book, where I am on the Kindle. So I got to chapter 29 last night. And I didn't read that much in the evening. I read before I went to bed. And a little, well, I can say that, a little bit after dinner, and then before bed. So in the book, chapter 29 is on page 262. And on Kindle, it is page 381 and 43% in. And I'm really, really liking this. So originally, as I said, I'd pick this up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. I wasn't a fan of the text in the book because it's so small. And again, it could be because I'm old, or it could be because it's just small. And so I wasn't a fan. That turned me off. And then I couldn't catch a groove on it. And so this week, just making a decision to stick with it has really helped. So if you're reading this or putting it down, about 30% in is when I say it gets good. The first 29% is like peanuts, I don't know. But once you get about maybe about 26% into 30%, it really starts going. So it's hard to talk about though, because also it's a fantasy and it's a series, and so people are really invested. I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some non-truths that are being revealed that happened in the last book. Somebody has returned from the last book that shouldn't have. We're getting more Xaden and Violet scenes. Now, I don't know if I completely blocked it out or maybe I skimmed it, but I know a lot of people were saying like the spicy scenes in Fourth Wing were like everything. And I read through one in Iron Flame and I was like, okay, like I don't really need it, because I kind of think of them as like children. And so like I kind of skimmed that, and I will continue to skim all of the spicy scenes in this book. But Violet is definitely having to not only face more challenges, but because of the secret that she's holding, she's having to lie to more people, and I think that's weighing on her. There's some more troop things that are happening in her squad. It's so hard to talk about without spoiling things, but it's definitely worth it. You have to really get into it, and you have to have that feeling of like, okay, I'm going to read this, and then it will all start to click. But yeah, I think it's going really good. So I'm hoping to finish more today. I guess I won't put a deadline on myself. I really wanted to finish it by the end of day today, but I don't think I'll read 60%, because the percentage goes so slowly because it's such a thick book that I read for a lot of time yesterday, and I got about 10% in. So we'll see how far we get. If I could get like another 100 or 150 pages read, that would be great. And then we'll see where that leaves me. But yeah, it's going really well. I'm glad I picked it back up. So this might just be the Iron Flame reading vlog. Who knows? But I'll be back on tomorrow with more information. And like I said, I'm only reading Iron Flame right now. I don't have a book in the background. Usually I have a palette cleanser like Babysitter's Club at night. But for this one, I think it's best that I just stick to it, and all of my reading time goes to that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, that is it for Tuesday. We'll come back tomorrow and give you more updates. Bye, guys. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I wish I had theme music or something to celebrate that I finally finished the Iron Flame, guys. So excited that I finished it. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I finished it last night, and the last time we chatted, I had a good like maybe 55% to go. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some parts that I skimmed, but not a whole ton. But I'm giving it 3 stars because I like the series. I'm gonna read the third book, but this just wasn't it. Like I said before, about 30% in, it started to get a little bit interesting. And then there were so many ebbs and flows, highs and lows of when it was interesting versus when it wasn't. I didn't really like the steamy scenes between Xaden and Violet. It just felt awkward. There is a huge twist at the end, though, and it left on a cliffhanger, which I had already heard. But so I was excited to read that in anticipation for the next book. However, wasn't super impressed. But it's done, and I feel like this is like off my back. I don't have to worry about this anymore, so that's great. Then I moved on to, let's see if I can find the title of it. So I put my Kindle on the bed. I picked up another, what is it? Jess? Hang on a second, of course. Okay, who's Jen or Jess? Lori Gelman's You've Been Volunteered. It's a class mom novel. So I had talked about that, thank you. I had talked about that I had gotten the Yoga Pant Nation book from the library, and it sounded good. It's basically like a regular mom who's volunteering, whatever. The first book in the series is called Class Mom. That book's like got a 26-week wait, so I don't know where I've been, but these are very popular. So book number 2, You've Been Volunteered, was actually available, so I'm just going to dive into book 2 and see where it takes me. I'm actually glad I did that, because in reading sort of the synopsis, like as they're going through book 2, they're kind of like rehashing what happened in book 1. In book 1, the main character, Jin, that's where I got the name Jin, her mom is diagnosed with cancer, and so the book has a lot to do with that sort of like journey, which is not my favorite kind of journey to go down. So glad that I kind of missed that. But we're in book 2, and we're following Jin, who's like all of us as moms. She has 2 older girls, 22 and a little bit older than 22. One is back in Kansas City where they live. She came back when the grandma was diagnosed with cancer, but she hasn't left yet, even though she swears she's leaving. And then the other one is in London with her boyfriend while he is in some type of rock band. So she is a class mom of her youngest, which is the 3rd grader. And she decides to, I guess she's been class mom before, whatever. She's class mom in the last book. Sorry, I got distracted. So she is taking on that role, but she's very like snarky, sarcastic, like to know her is to love her type thing. So some people really like the emails that she sends, and some people don't, because they're very like blunt and borderline inappropriate for the school setting. But so she's doing that. Her husband is an owner of a yoga studio or something, and he's trying to expand that brand. So there's like lots of little things happening. It's just a literary fiction book, which is something that I said I wanted to get more into this year. It's not necessarily romance, it's just like grown people doing grown stuff. And so it's kind of fun to read that and watch her navigate this whole journey. So I'm really liking it. It's actually a short book too. It's only like 260 some pages, but it's really good. So I'm reading that now. It's called, again, You've Been Volunteered. It's part of the Class Mom novel series. Highly suggested. It's just funny and just like a literary fiction book. So really enjoying that. Anyway, that is it for Wednesday. Now, typically I never come on Thursday. I always end up forgetting. So let's see if I can keep the track growing and come back on Thursday. So I will see you then. Bye, guys. Hey guys, happy Saturday. Per usual, I missed a couple of days on my vlog, and that's just how it goes. But wrapping up today, last day of the vlog, and I wanted to update you guys on what I finished. So I finished on, was it Wednesday or Thursday? You've Been Volunteered by Lori Gelman. This book follows a mom who is the class mom for her child's 3rd grade class. She's got a very spunky, sarcastic personality. Everybody kind of knows that. And she goes through trying to just like live her own life, where her husband is an entrepreneur. He's trying to like franchise a yoga studio. and she does the class mom thing. She does the class mom stuff, and is in charge of the crosswalk. So if you see the cover of the book, you've been volunteer. That's kind of the funny crosswalk thing. But like part of the story, it's definitely literary fiction. It's just like her story as a mom, connecting with other moms, dealing with just like child changes, marriage issues, interpersonal female relationships. And so I ended up giving this a 3-star. I'm slightly disappointed. So I started off thinking this is definitely a 4-star book for me. And then it quickly turned. Her sarcasm that she started off with soon became very irritating and just like try too hard. It's not as funny as it was when it started. And then some of the plot points were not my favorite. And so yeah, not my favorite. But I will say, you know, those have been on the channel for a while. I am a former classroom teacher and administrator, and so like these books are all fun and games until I'm triggered. And so it could have been that I was triggered and I was like, no. So anyway, there's that. Then I read, oh, did I give it back? Hang on, what's the next book I read? Yes, it was a Kindle Unlimited book. It was called 1 Week in Paradise. This book is by, let me try to pull the cover up. This book is by Anise Starr. Here is the cover of the book. Let me make that bigger for you guys. Oh, can I make it bigger? Let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so old right now. Let's see. Can I make it bigger? Okay. Okay, I don't think I can, but that's what it is. 1 Week in Paradise. And this is a fake dating trope. So we are following, you know, I never know the characters' names. The main girl is a, what is she? She has a really specific job, but she goes viral because her boyfriend cheats on her and she kind of goes off on him, and somebody recorded that and it went viral. And so she's kind of back home for a little bit, but part of her work is like influencer work. And so she's kind of been quiet on all those social media platforms and needs to get back out there. But she is, sorry, I'm just adjusting this. This is so high today. I don't know. Things are just doing their own thing. And so she went viral for sort of snapping on her boyfriend at the time for cheating, but she needs to get back into the influencer world. So she's actually offered a trip to Jamaica. It's a couples trip, and a few influencer couples are going, and she has to obviously vlog it and like post pictures, whatever, but obviously she doesn't have a boyfriend anymore. So her brother, which is kind of odd, offers up their best friend or his best friend to come and go on the trip with her. And right then and there, you can see where it's going. So they decide to fake date and head to Jamaica. The guy is like just there for the good time, right? And she's obviously trying to like rebuild her platform. So they're really intent on being, acting like a couple. They quickly fall for each other, and it's like an unrequited love. They've liked each other for a while, since all the things, but like he's kind of hesitant because that is his best friend's little sister, and he shouldn't. But when I tell you, this book is such like off the beaten path. I had never heard of it before. I saw it on somebody else's vlog. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's like 240 some pages, and it was top tier. I ended up giving it 4 stars. The reason I didn't give it 5 is because some of the drama that comes up around the whole influencer group and why the, like, I guess supposedly she wasn't the person who was the main girlfriend of the guy that cheated on her, Ethan. It was like she was the extra, and one of the influencer girls there is a friend of the main girlfriend. So like that whole plot I didn't need, and so I didn't give it 5 stars for that. But like the chemistry between the 2 main characters is so on point, and they had some really steamy scenes, so it's definitely a spicier book, and they were top tier. Like, you kind of are kicking your feet and giggling and your stomach is flipping, and they're just really good scenes. So if that's your vibe, I highly recommend it. But anyway, that is this week. I feel like I read a good amount of books this week. So proud of myself for like really sticking through a couple of books, finished Iron Flame, and then still got a couple more books done. That's really amazing to me. So happy with myself for that. And now I'm currently reading a book called A Pho Love Story. And I saw this at Barnes. It's a YA novel. It's on like the little stand for all of the Valentine's Day books. The author is Lone Lee or Lone Lay. And I ended up borrowing it from the library. And so excited to have that. There's a couple more books I had my eye on that I ended up borrowing from the library. And I'm just getting back on that grind. Like, we are really trying to rein in finances this year as a goal and living in moderation. And once I read the book, like, I'm kind of done with it. And so if I ever read the book and I've borrowed it and I really want it, I can get it. Like, it's not a rush. And I feel like in the book community, like, I am watching hauls or this and that. And like, it doesn't have to be that serious. Like, if you can borrow the book, your friend has the book, get the book. But I'm trying really not to do like these huge book hauls. I do still like walking around Barnes. I love the atmosphere, but now what I'm doing is like taking specific pictures around what I want and then moving on and trying to see if it's on Kindle. So a couple of books I picked up yesterday on Amazon let's see if I can find them for my Kindle. I'm going to go. I know the first one. Oh, yeah, I know what they are. I don't have to look them up. The first one was The Catch by Amy Lee. I'm so excited. This book comes out on Tuesday. So my hope is to finish A Pho Love Story in time for The Catch on Tuesday. And that book is the third in the Influencer series. And so I'm excited to read that one. I just know it's going to be good. I love Amy Lee's writing. I have X's and O's, the physical copy. And I was like, oh, I kind of want that set. But like, do I? I don't really need it, so I'm okay. And then I also picked up the new Tessa Bailey book that's going to come out on Tuesday, Fangirl or something like that. It's like a football, seems like romance. Tessa Bailey's hit and miss, and I did say I was going to stop reading her books, but I haven't had any new books in a while, so here we are. The only thing I didn't show you guys was something not super book related, but I just want to flag for anybody who's like me and loves a planner. So last weekend I went to Barnes and Noble to pick up a planner for my oldest just to get reorganized, and I already have a planner. I've had several planners, but oh no, I just ripped a whole page. Anyway, I'm currently using this planner. It looks like a composition notebook. It started in the summer of 2023, and now we're still heading on. It's good through December. But when I went to Barnes last time, they had planners 50% off. Okay, so I was like, say less, you got me. So I did pick up another planner, but this one's specifically for like personal health and wealth, because I am also on like a health journey, and so I wanted to be like specific about tracking my food intake, water intake, exercise routine. As I meet with more clinicians that talk about like healthy eating, I want to be specific in telling them what I am eating, so that they can better support me. And then I haven't yet, but I did think about like mental health as well, like when I have therapy appointments or things like that, or therapy homework. I just kind of wanted to keep that separate from my work planner. So last week was the first week that I used it, and I absolutely loved it. It's really low pressure. It's very simple and basic, but I did touch it every day, and I was excited about that. So again, not book related, but if you're interested, what I did on each page was I just literally wrote like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, exercise, and water. So let's go to a day that was pretty good. Okay, so on Tuesday, I did Starbucks with an egg sausage cheese wrap. Because I had that for breakfast, I didn't have a snack. For lunch, I had some fish. I had a piece of cod. I had some Doritos for a snack, and then we did breakfast for dinner. And that exercise day, I did Tabata as my workout, and then I drank 92 ounces of water. And so that's really great. Now today, I usually don't Well, I sometimes alternate between exercising on Saturday or Sunday. It just depends. I've had a really bad headache the past couple of weeks, or past couple of days, so we'll see if I do. But one thing that I'll put on Saturday is like, I just started some new multivitamins and a metabolism vitamin. So I'll put that down here too so I can track like when I started that. And then I guess if you want to, you could track weight weekly. I try not to jump on the scale a whole bunch because it can be defeating, or it's just like, I don't know, it's not my favorite thing. And so anyway, so random, not book related, but I wanted to share that with you guys because I love a good planner. And just like check your barns to see if the planners are currently on sale. So like this one is I think it's an 18th, 17 month calendar. So you do have some of the days from last year. Obviously I don't need those. Yeah, it was August 2023. I don't need those, but all of the other ones are good to go. So that's that. Anyway, I have babbled on long enough about my planner obsession. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I love to respond to your comments. I know we're all so busy and sometimes we're just watching, but the comments keep the engagement up, and I think it'd be great just to hear from you guys. It's almost like you're at a Zoom and everybody's got their camera off, so I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Huge shout out to Storm Reed. Stormy, thank you so much for featuring me as one of the small booktubers. I've gotten so many new subscribers. I just hit the over 600 mark, and I appreciate that. Share my channel, comment, engage. Love to have you. If you've been around, thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget, I have membership options if you would like to become a member. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.